Mr. Singh, thank you so much for speaking with us at NDTV Profit. What has been the impact of demonetization? Initially, what we've been picking up from microfinance lenders is that the first week was bad, but now collections are looking up. What has it been like for you?
Good morning. It's been somewhat of a roller coaster, I think, from where we started in the first week right after demonetization. The currency supply was very low, so the repayment and collections were very low in terms of our repayment rates, which are close to about 99%. The week after that, once the supply has eased down maybe a little bit, I think the collections have improved across in various geographies, but it is still far from reaching the levels where we are. Majorly because of the liquidity crunch which is being there with the borrowers not getting enough currency from the banks. That has been probably one of the major reasons for the collection not coming in to that level, where it was earlier. So we've reached close to about 60% to about 70% of our collections across the All India analysis as such. But it's still been still some way ahead, before we are able to reach our earlier figures.
Right. What is going to be a normal figure for you, and when do you think you will come to collections of the normal level for you?
See, a couple of things which probably have to be looked at is that if the liquidity and the currency reaches these states as fast as possible, I think the normalcy will return. But till that time, this is not being done. This will definitely going to impact our normal collections, which have always stood close to about 99.5%. So the most imperative thing is that the currency reaches over there, and the intent has been intact from the side of our borrowers. But there has been a lot of rumor mongering, a lot of people, the small time commission agents, people taking this to their advantage by luring the borrowers into loan waivers and rumors of not paying and everything. I think that also has to curb to a large extent before this reaches the normal stage. So I think once these two things are taken care of, this will probably reach the earlier levels of 99% collection efficiencies.
Right. And what about your dispersals? What have they been like?
Disbursals have been very slow. In fact, we could not disburse the last couple of weeks because withdrawals from banks have been very difficult. They have not been allowing us. There's a limit of withdrawals of about 50,000 rupees per current account, so which has hampered our disbursements. But what we are now doing is that whatever new tender money is coming across in the markets, we are churning that and giving it back as disbursement. The disbursement will be slow till the time we do not have full withdrawals coming in from our bank accounts. Disbursals will be slow, and again, the moment we are allowed to do that, I think it will reach these borrowers. And I think that's another way possibly of making this currency available to these borrowers. If we are allowed disbursement, I think it will probably take us by giving these new notes to the borrowers, it will take a lot of ease, a lot of their pain away also in terms of they are allowed to disburse from our accounts.
Right. Now, what about the asset quality? Is there a fear of defaults? Though the RBI has given a relaxation for 60 days, is there a worry that they'll be increasing default? Some people may be missing their repayments because they're standing in a line waiting for to withdraw cash. But then some of your borrowers will see their business suffer because of the cash crunch, a fall in demand in the near term. So are you worried about the asset quality?
Well, this is definitely going to impact for a certain while because they're losing their day's economic activity and their day's labor while standing in the queues of the banks. That definitely is going to impact their income to a short extent. But our sense is that if this, again, if this supply is eased out for them, at least they can then concentrate more on their economic activity, get back their incomes in in return, and then are able to repay. The installments are very small, so I think it doesn't make too much of an impact. The moment I think the cash crunch eases off, I think they'll be back into normalcy again. But our sense is again putting time into by wasting your time by standing in bank queues, you losing out your own incomes, That all is going to affect in the short term. So as soon as this is taken care of, I think, it'll be back to normalcy. But our guess is as good as yours, that, this will be a while before, the asset quality also comes back to the original levels where we were.
But Mr. Singh, you must have done some analysis on how this will impact your growth. Your growth has been, for a microfinance institution like yours, has been very high. So in the third quarter, how much growth will you see?
It'll be a muted growth, definitely, yes. Our own sense is that this will probably go down in terms of our sector. And I think, this is probably going to affect every sector. In the larger context of the NBFC also. So MFIs will definitely also will be impacted. The growth is going to be muted. But again, coming back to the whole thing, as soon as things come back to normalcy, I think, we'll come back to the growth pattern again. It'll definitely remain muted for some time.